Wherever there's an episodic series, you can bet two men will talk to you. AJ Talon and Owen Finch give their thoughts on Owen and AJ Talks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to... Oh my gosh, we did it! We got it!
Yeah, we got some fireworks. All right, keep it going.
Oh, I know we do. We're keeping this take. But welcome to finally a review. That's why Discord was so happy about it that we're finally doing this. It's the season premiere of Yellowjackets Season 3. I'm Owen Finch, and I'm here with...
AJ Talent. And yep, like you said, we're finally getting into Yellowjackets Season 3. It's funny because we never really took a break from Yellowjackets because, we finished Season 2 and then we did the Inception movie and the RVB comparison video, which was tied to Inception. So we've been doing like Yellowjackets related stuff. But yeah, now we're finally jumping back into Yellowjackets proper.
Yeah, and I guess there's a story we should say about this because it's going to either just be 2 episodes or 5 episodes for the next couple of weeks because I'm having an issue on my end with my Paramount Plus. I use my aunt's Paramount Plus, and for some reason I can't even watch it on Paramount Plus because we don't have that tier of Paramount Plus. There must be like a different tier for Season 3. I get Seasons 1 and 2, but not Season 3. So luckily... the episodes 1 and 2 are on YouTube, so that's why we're doing this video. So I was even debating whether or not even to start it, because I might not be able to watch past episode 2, but AJ said, let's just do it, and then we'll figure it out from there. So after episode 2, I'm not really sure what's going to happen at this moment. Episode 2, it could very much change, but we'll see.
The goal is still to finish Yellowjackets Season 3 for 2026. So we're going to really try and buckle down and finish the season. So we'll be able to watch Season 4 as it airs.
Yeah, and I did some research like the other day, and I saw some news that we have a lot of time to kill because it's either going to be fall of 2026 or 2027 that Season 4 even comes back. So I'm happy that if we finish it now, we'll be able to take like a nice lengthy break from it, so that way we don't have to jump right back into it again, like we kind of did with Season 2. But yeah, let's just get right into it. This is the season premiere of Season 3. You know, this was the long-awaited return of Yellowjackets after 2 years. But yeah, this was the long-awaited return of Yellowjackets after 2 years because we had the writer's strike, and then they didn't start filming it until 2024. But yeah, Yellowjackets is back now. And this episode is called It Girl, and you'll kind of find out why it's called that episode in a little bit. It was directed by Bart Nickerson, and it was written by Jonathan Lisco, Ashley Lyle, and Bart Nickerson. AJ, they learned their lessons. They had the showrunner and the people who eat the show work on an important episode.
I don't know why it's so difficult, but it's so difficult that it made me knock my camera over. Anyway. Continue.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to say more, but I'm happy they're learning their lessons. I was happy Jonathan Lisco was brought on. I thought he was a new writer, but he hasn't written the episodes in a while. I think the last episode he wrote was Season 2, Episode 2. And yeah, do you want to guess the air date for this episode?
Yeah, I know it aired this year because it was originally our goal to watch it this year when it aired. I believe it was February 14th, 2025, which is Valentine's Day, I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to give you that because that actually was when it aired, but that was just for the Showtime and Paramount Plus subscribers. Everybody else, it aired February 16th, but I'm giving you, apparently you wouldn't want anyone else to watch it, so I'm going to give you that air date type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, first time coming back to Yellowjackets. Pretty exciting stuff. Last episode ended, Season 2. The last time we saw at all of Yellowjackets was the winter. The cabin burnt down. And, the big hook was supposed to be, well, how are they going to survive in the winter? Because obviously when Jackie was just left out there to sleep in the winter, she just died. So, we had a lot of intrigue for the past and everything like that. Wondering how these characters are going to survive the winter. Then you find out it's already the beginning of summer when they come back.
Well, spring.
Uh, Spring, summer-ish. I'm not really sure because they had said it was like the shortest night of the year, and I looked it up online, and it says the shortest night of the year like in June, so I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, so we are way in the future then. Because okay, so yeah, we're gonna get into that. Time jumps in the show are a thing, but I'll let you finish your thoughts before I get mine.
So yeah, I know like you're supposed to talk about the past, but I kind of wanted us to both talk about this because this is pretty disappointing. I was a big thing I was looking forward to for this was just to see how the characters are gonna survive the winter. Kind of what would happen, if they had nowhere to go and it's winter time type of thing. We had a whole season of the winter, but I was okay with the fact that like we were gonna get a little more because we had a new dynamic, we had a new threat, and unfortunately we got none of that. They just did all that off screen. They just did a big time jump, and no one we find out really died from this. They all like seem like they survived from this. And I'm really disappointed about this. The best way they kind of do this is they just have Van kind of tell like a jokey little story about it, and that's really disappointing because we find out that like Natalie like taught one of them how to like hunt. That would have been a cool episode. Natalie can be like, hey, I can't be the one to hunt. Who wants to volunteer to hunt? Nope. Why isn't Travis hunting anymore? We don't really have an episode on that because it seemed like he's not really needed to hunt. We could have gotten more thoughts of what Shauna was thinking. I would have liked an episode where maybe one of the characters like went crazy all of a sudden got from hypothermia and just went psycho and they had to like put her down type of thing or Natalie mentions she was like looking for Ben in an episode. It would have been nice if they could have got some characters' thoughts on that, like where's Ben type of thing, because they ask about that this episode. There's an episode where it turns, it gets to the nicer weather. That would have been a good like little light at the end of the tunnel type of thing. Like, cool, that's a big accomplishment. It's now like, it's now the springtime summer type of thing. Nope, we don't get that either. It's just so disappointing because it really throws away. Honestly, it throws away like really a whole season of stuff that like they really had. I'm really disappointed that they just decided to skip all that stuff. That would be like OVB decided. It's actually a big thing. It's like when OVB just decided not to show any of the stuff outside the Epsilon unit, well, what everyone else was doing out there. But I feel like this is a worst case scenario of that because it really would have, elevated that scene where the cabin burned down. And I feel like this devalues it now because we found out no one died. We find out, it seems like everybody lived. And nothing interesting really happened off screen other than those things. And it's really shitty. I think it sucks they didn't really... They didn't dive into this. And also it just sucks too because it's like how much time can you really spend out in the wilderness if you keep doing time jumps? So doing this in the past just really sucked. It really disappointed me. And no matter what I say about this episode at the end of the letter grade, this is probably going to be like the most disappointing episode of Yellowjackets because I had all these expectations of what I wanted, and now we're not going to get any of it. I probably should have known this because they don't show any scenes in the winter in the trailers. But I was kind of hoping maybe we would get like maybe an episode or maybe 3 episodes in the winter or maybe 5, and then like the halfway point we can get some stuff in the spring. But now we're not going to get any of that, and that's just another cool thing. How was Ben gonna survive? Like he couldn't stay under the tree the whole time because he was gonna have to like go outside probably at some point, type of thing. And now we're not gonna get any of that either. So this is just a huge ass disappointment. How do you feel that they did a big time jump in the past and just skipped all that shit?
Yeah, so it's funny. I had watched this episode a little while, like a few weeks ago, before you did, and I kind of had to hold back on my thoughts. But yeah, that was like my first impression, because obviously it like one of the first scenes of the season is showing them now that spring/summer is here, and I was immediately disappointed. I guess to say what I like first, the winter, like the set was very interesting because like 99% of the scenes were inside. and like it was just kind of like a little boring, you know. So I was like, okay, you know, it's kind of cool that like they're addressing some of the things I had about season 2, where okay, you know, we have more people taking up like roles instead of sitting on their asses the entire time. You know, Natalie taught another person how to hunt. Thaisa was constructing little like shelters for everybody. They have their own little farm with like animals they breed and you know kill for food. They have people you know like cutting their meat and shit. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, that's nice. You know, we got like them kind of like building their own little community out in the woods. I'm like, that's very interesting. Um, but yeah, it feels like we skipped an entire season's worth of shit. Especially because, like I said, season 2, it really felt like we wasted a lot of time in season 2, where they're kind of just sitting around inside, not doing anything. And then, like you said, it feels like we could have gotten so much time with like Natalie, you know, taking on her position as like the queen of the group. You know, like how everyone reacts to that like immediately. Yeah, her training other people to take up her role as the main hunter. You know, building the shelters, and like you said, the big cliffhanger of last season was the cabin burned down. Like, oh shit, what are they gonna do for shelter? What are they gonna, you know, do for like everything? Like everything they have is gone. You know, all of their like spare clothes they had gone. You know, any food they had gone. Like everything's gone. And then it just cuts to Van and being like, "Oh man, guys, wasn't it crazy that like we had to like keep the fire going for like a couple weeks, and then like spring came? Like that was pretty fucking crazy, huh?" I'm like, "Oh man, what a journey, huh?"
Yeah, we didn't see any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, and like it's like everyone was fine, everyone was chill. Like you know, now it's like I'm gonna watch the end of season 2, and it's like, oh shit, like this is a real problem, and it's like, nope, this was barely an inconvenience. They're chilling, they're fine.
Yeah, you mentioned something I meant to mention. I forgot. Like, yeah, that's the biggest disappointment too. Is the immediate effect of Natalie being the Antler Queen, because you know that was a big thing in season 2. Like, and now it's. I feel like now we've skipped all of the immediate aftermath. Like now she's already been the Antler Queen for like months. So like, the only one that's really pissed about it is like Shauna, and that makes sense because obviously it seemed like she wanted to be it. But like, I wanted to see everyone else like Misty's reaction. I wanted to see like Lottie's reaction to it, but no, we're not going to get any of that. What the immediate aftermath of Lottie? What does Lottie do now that she's not leading the group anymore and everything like that? Like this is just so disappointing.
I agree. It's funny enough, like it makes me think of Arrow, where so if you don't know, the premise of Arrow is he was stranded out on an island for 5 years, and you know he comes back to his city and he becomes you know like the superhero Green Arrow. And you know, it also similarly does like a past-present storyline, and every season covers 1 year on the island. So like season 1, it's the first year. Season 2, it's the second year. So it's pretty evenly spaced out. You know, like you kind of like you get a good amount of time jumps, obviously, because you know you're covering a whole year in one season. But like it's you know you kind of get that expectation. Whereas Yellowjackets, again, they have been fucking. And it's also, again, with Arrow, you had 5 years out in the wilderness. Like, okay, that's a lot of time. Whereas the Yellowjackets crew, we know they were out there for a little under 2 years. We already covered more than 9 months in the first 2 seasons. And as you like you said, if this is like the beginning of summer, we have skipped another like fucking 4 months. So like they don't have a lot of time left out in the wilderness, you know?
Yeah, the only reason I could come up with it is if they're gonna do like a middle like season, like of them on the middle timeline, like right after they come back into society, how they adjust like then. That would be interesting, but like
again, like they're gonna have to slow way the fuck down. Cause like if they go at the pace that they've been going, then they're gonna be out of the wilderness by the end of the season. And like I'm guessing that's not gonna be the case. So the pacing is gonna be really off. Like I said, Arrow was pretty consistent. 1 year for every season. Whereas it's going to be like, oh, we're fucking blasting through months at a time, and they're going to have to fucking slow down to a crawl for this season and next season, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, and Yeah, that's just not. I don't think that's going to be feasible. But yeah, this is just. It's just really disappointing because we just lost a whole season's
Yeah.
worth of.
I was saying, like, for what it is, I like it. Like, I like the setup of, like, it's spring. We've like everyone has jobs now. They're building their own little society. They're kind of playing games with each other to pass the time. Like, I like that. If this was like season 4, we just like it feels like we just ripped a season out of the show.
We definitely did, yeah. You know,
But yeah, that was our thoughts on the time jump. Again, a very big asterisk to this episode. But yeah, I guess, like I said, we should kind of go into the actual episode itself. So yeah, the cold open is it's kind of a horror-esque scene where, very similarly to the beginning of the first episode of season 1, I do like this, that it's Mari being hunted, because again, the popular theory, like you said, is that Mari's pit girl, the girl who gets killed in like the cold open of the first episode.
yeah.
So this is kind of channeling that.
I was thinking you just liked it because it's you don't like Maui, so you're like, yes, get Maui, get her. So,
this episode really shits on Mari, and I appreciate it.
I feel like it's gonna make the whatever letter grade you would have given it, it's gonna go up a letter grade because it shits on Maui so much.
Yeah, when we list the positives, it was be like it abused Ari. I'm cool with that.
Maui, not Maui. That's the name we quit. That's the other girl that we didn't like.
Okay, that's the other one from Inception. Yeah,
that's not even her name either.
I just don't remember Mari's actual name.
Yeah, but anyhow, continue.
Unlike everybody who forgot Crystal when they were naming the people they've lost.
Yep. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
I'm gonna get to that. That's gonna be really funny to point out. So yeah, everybody's hunting Mari, and again, you think it's the hunt; they're gonna eat her. But then Shauna tackles her and is being pretty brutal, just shoving her into the ground, and like Mari has something in her hand, and Shauna begins trying to fucking bite her. And then the others pull her off of Mari, and then we kind of say okay, no, this isn't like a hunt. This is like a game. And it's revealed Mari actually tricked them, that Mari was not the one holding whatever the fuck it was that they were using as a goal. And it was actually Misty who had it and made it to the goal. And basically, this reveals that Misty and Mari's team won this little game, and that the wager was that the losing team had to be the winning team's servants for the day. Again, I like this. This is kind of their way of killing time and kind of keeping morale up while they're up there. Again, I like that because, like I said, season 2 was a lot of the characters just kind of sitting around doing fuck all. So I kind of like that. Even if it's little stuff, I like that they're just kind of doing stuff to occupy themselves.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. When you get past the disappointment that we talked about, this is pretty cool that they're doing stuff to kill time.
Again, season 4, I'd be all for it.
Yeah. And I guess this was a fine, good episode, good way to start the season. If this is how the season's gonna start, everyone being happy. I do wonder if that was I guess that was just a stunt double that Misty got that tackled Misty, because like I said, I think the actress was pregnant around this time, so any probably physical scene that she has.
Nah, fucking tackle the pregnant lady, fucking stomach a couple times.
Right. And I feel like this is what we see. You see that Shauna's not very happy about this. She's still very cold from everything that's happened in the past couple of seasons. That makes a lot of sense considering the fact that she's lost a lot of stuff and has gone through probably the most shit out of everyone, and other than Ben. Ben's probably been through the winter the most.
Probably Shauna the most, and then Travis and Ben would be the others.
Yeah. But so it makes sense why she's still very cold about everything, and I feel like it told a nice story of how Shauna was going to be feeling this episode. They really didn't play much into the servant thing. Really, it was kind of just here and then one scene later, and then maybe one scene.
Yeah, well, again, it's kind of just a little wager they had. It's kind of them being high school girls. It wasn't anything serious.
Yeah, it's really weird that Natalie had to do this though, because she's the antler. She's like the queen. I don't know why she had to be a servant. That was kind of weird, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I can buy that. Natalie's pretty down to earth, and we kind of see that she's she's leader, but she's like she's not like lording over everybody.
Yeah. That was just pretty cool. I like that.
Yep. And then like you said, it's kind of showing Shauna is like extremely bitter towards everybody, and is like lashing out in like a bunch of ways, because obviously she fucking assaulted the shit out of Lottie last season. So we see that like that didn't really make her feel any better, and she's kind of still lashing out violently.
Yes.
I will say, okay, so in so in the next scene, it's Shauna and Backwards Cap Girl. Oh my god, Backwards Cap Girl! She's in this season. It's crazy. Well, again, she was in the first episode of season 2, and then she disappeared for the rest of it. So it might be the same case where she's in this first episode and then she fucks off again for the rest of the season.
I don't know if you want to get to this, but I don't know if you caught this on like a Wheat Watch. I caught it both. Did you realize there was somebody new that wasn't here even last season?
Yeah, I was on the lookout for it because you said that somebody else was recast, and I was like, I have no clue who it is.
It's the woman that's the hunter now, the one that Natalie trained to hunt. I forget her name now, but like that's the recast.
Oh, okay, wait. Oh, so wait, she was in the last season and she was recast.
Yes.
What's her name?
I don't remember.
Okay, I don't even know who she was last season. So I'm like, okay, again, it's like the original recast girl. It's like I don't even remember who she actually was in the first place.
Yeah, and I just watched an interview with the I mean, nothing spoilery or anything, but the actress that plays this girl, and she even said they look alike, so you wouldn't really catch it if they didn't tell you it was like a recast or anything like that.
So she's officially recast Girl Junior, I guess.
But there's another new character in the show. I don't know if you remember the show and like what they kind of do day to day, and there's like that scene where like it's like recast Girl 1 says a secret to somebody, and then like it goes down the line, and then like someone said a secret to like Travis. The person that said like the secret to like Travis was like another person that like it's like a new character, like wasn't in the show like at all before.
Yeah, again, I just love the idea that planes keep crashing out there, and like these aren't, these are the Blue Sleeves team.
I like that. I was just say my idea was gonna be like it's the Family Guy joke where like they were like there already, but like they just didn't want to disturb the plane crash, so they're just joining the plane crash like Pody or whatever. But I like your idea better.
Yeah. Or again, like the Red versus Blue joke where Church was dreaming, like seasons 2 through 5, and he was like, Tucker, you were my dream. Caboose, you were my dream. And then like the green guy, like, was I in your dream, Church? And he's like, nah, sorry, man. I guess I just forgot about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, thank you for pointing that out. That's a flaw I didn't even catch the first time. Show, stop adding Yellowjackets characters, because they weren't there. They were not there. Like, you can't tell me they were there.
Yeah, and I think this is the worst because season 1, whatever. Season 1, whatever, because like they were outside a lot. It was pandemic, so that's kind of whatever. You really don't have an excuse, really, with season 3, because, like, season 2, it was pretty obvious everyone who was accounted for, because everyone was in the cabin the whole time, so it's like, you know.
We're going to have to keep bringing it up. We mentioned in season 1, we should have got, like, a head count, because, again, they just keep pulling new people out of their ass. It's like, you can't do that. Like, it's a one soccer team from a fucking high school on this plane. Like, you can't keep pulling out new people out of your ass.
How many people were on the soccer team then? Like...
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many fucking people are we at? We're gonna get to season like 20, and it's gonna be like fucking. Oh man, there's like 200 people on this team. Real crazy. A lot of them like weren't in the early seasons. They were just like off on the other side of the woods, I guess.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
They were like fucking Javi. You know what? Javi had company. Whenever Javi would go to like the nearby town to chill out, these people would fucking join him.
Yeah, he brought him back with him. What's gonna be excuse?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no Javi this season, so what's gonna be the excuse next season if they do this?
Oh, fuck it does. They're chilling with Ben. Fucking they're hanging out with Ben from bunker.
I like that actually.
Yeah. So yeah, all right, already off to an iffy start for the season. But yeah, something I do like is Shauna, obviously very, like I said, bitter towards everybody, lashing out. Mari and like another girl are kind of like sunbathing, and they're kind of like teasing Shauna and backwards hat girl a little bit, but like not in like a really bad way, just kind of like a bitchy teenage girl thing where she's like, oh, excuse me, make sure you prepare our meal very well, or like fetch me a drink.
Yeah.
Abusing the bet of like, oh, you're our servants. But like, it's one of the situations with Mari where I'm cool with it. Because before Mari was being a bitch in like life or death situations. This is kind of just like playful teasing. Like I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a weird case of like earlier seasons, like we're making Mari a bitch, but like it felt like it wasn't on purpose. And now this episode's like really trying to make us hate Mari, but it's over like really petty shit.
Yeah, I still don't think that. I don't. Again, I think like I told you, I think it just depends on the episode where it's purposely and where it's not. This is definitely one of the cases where it was.
It feels like it wasn't on purpose before. Now they're trying to make it on purpose, but it's like, okay, well now she's like doing kind of harmless shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shauna is like fucking is pretty brutal where she tells Cap Girl like, how come we didn't eat her first? Like, damn. And I like how where a backwards Cap Girl kind of makes a joke where she says like, "Oh, Mari's so dumb. I hear she chipped a tooth on her vibrator." And then Shauna's like, this line felt kind of meta. Felt like a writer's show. Shauna was like, "Huh? Do you like actually have a personality?"
Yep.
Like I was like, "Fucking thank you." Because aside from her wearing a hat that's backwards, like I didn't know she had a fucking personality either.
Yeah. I thought that I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, it really felt like the writers were kind of taking a jab on that one.
Which is really weird because you would expect LVB to make this type of jab, but no, they made this jab. So,
which again, like I said, I hope they do something with backwards Cap Girl this season instead of just having her in the first episode. Like last season.
Yeah, definitely.
Like add the fact that one of your characters like doesn't have a personality. I would hope they would like actually do something with her.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I like this. I'm assuming recast girl. If not, I feel racist. But recast girl comes up with like a little crown for Shauna.
Yeah, it was recast girl.
I was about to say, cool. Am I racist? Am I racist for this? Okay, yeah. So it's recast girl, senior. And she comes up with like a little grass crown for Shauna, and she says that Shauna should wear it, and because Lottie, it wants to, because Shauna's kind of like a guest of honor, I guess, because she's the mother.
Yeah.
So presumably, tonight we're gonna do a little memorial for the baby, to which Shauna rejects, and then recast girl kind of tries to talk her into it, and then Shauna just like slaps down her hand, tells her to back the fuck up. So I kind of like this, that she's not just being, like, mean to Mari. Like, she's kind of lashing out at everybody.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I'm going to get to the other thing first. I just kind of want to talk about this because it kind of ties into the, like I said, Shauna lashing out.
Yeah.
And so this scene technically happened later, but I wanted to bring it up now. But yeah, like I said, after the game of like tag, we had one other little scene where this one felt weird because we had an actual recap like at the very beginning, but this was like also a recap like within the show.
Yeah, I didn't like this because they did. If they didn't do that long recap, it would have been okay with this.
We had a 3-minute recap, and then we had the little like hunt with Mari. And then we do another recap. Like, okay, felt a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know if that. I don't know if the writers like didn't know they were gonna, like Paramount Plus or /Showtime was gonna do a recap, so they like decided. So they just did one themselves. But this was weird. It felt too.
Yeah.
This one felt too meta too. Also.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, this is kind of again the characters explaining what the fuck happened after the end of season 2. I do like this contrast where Shauna is in her own little area, writing in her journals, and then like explaining what's happened, and then Van is kind of being the storyteller for everybody else. And we get to see the big difference in how they like told the story of what happened so far.
I like that.
And I do like this, where again Van has kind of taken on the role of like the storyteller, like she's kind of the one who entertains everybody. Which again, I like that. Like I said, not everybody has to have a big fucking important role in their little society, but just having, again, Van being kind of the entertainer who like keeps morale up. Like I'm cool with that. Again, not everybody needs to be the fucking hunter. Like I said, I'm glad this season's kind of addressing some of my issues from season 2. So Van explains that she even says like previously on the Yellowjackets, kind of going over everything that's happened, but giving it like a really positive twist to it of like throughout everything that we have to survive. We've all of our amazing adventures. We will. The wilderness has praised us, and then Sean is like, we've all gone fucking nuts, and we're pretending that we're like, blessed by the wilderness because we can't deal with the fact that even if we get rescued, we're gonna not be able to go home because of all the horrible shit we've done.
Yeah, I don't like that because in the present, it actually really weirdly enough ended up being like how Shauna told the story of what's happened versus like Van's telling of it, I guess. Where everyone's kind of too afraid to. No one's really talked to anybody about the plane crash because they were too afraid to and all that type of stuff. So I kind of like that. In a weird way, Shauna's versions kind of happen.
Yeah. And then Shauna explains in her diary, like why she's so like she even says that she hates all of them. So that's pretty and again, like I said, it seems like it's Mari specifically, but she's kind of lashing out at everybody.
Yeah.
Because like when they tried to get her to join the group, she kind of like lashed out at Natalie too, where she's like, "Oh, are you gonna force me to, my queen?"
Yeah, I like that. And there's kind of she kind of gave her a jab too, like. And I was also thinking because like she didn't have much of a reaction when Natalie became the queen, anyways. So I'm like, is there something more to that than just that moment?
Yeah. So I like that because again, and I think this makes sense. After the baby died, we didn't really get much from Shauna besides like she's depressed. So I kind of like that. Like now, like after this time skip, she's still extremely bitter.
Me too.
And again, like she doesn't have a lot of people around her, so she kind of has nobody, but she can't really do anything but lash out at the people around her, essentially. Although, again, I kind of wish Shauna would acknowledge some of her own fault in that. Like, again, Shauna, kind of your own fault with Jackie, And, like, again, you probably shouldn't have fucking fucked her boyfriend and gotten yourself pregnant.
Yeah, none of that.
I hope later in the season she kind of, like, acknowledges that a little bit.
Yeah, I know present day Shauna's kind of taken the slack on that, but I hope past Shauna has some reflection about it and everything like that.
Yeah, present day, it feels like that's why I'm not sure if she will, because present day, whenever anybody kind of points out a flaw with her, she's kind of like, "Yep, I'm the worst." Like she kind of makes everybody, she like goes to the like far extreme of it.
Yeah,
kind of like blame. But yeah, again, it's kind of like. I guess a good comparison would be Zuko in the episode The Beach, where he's like, that whole episode, he's lashing out at everybody. And at the end, he kind of has to, like, admit that, like, the person he's angry with is himself.
Yeah, I like that.
So, again, I'm kind of hoping we get a similar thing with Shauna this season. But yeah, again, like I said, that was cool. Good scene. If you're going to do a recap, I would keep this one and ditch, like, the actual recap we got.
Yeah, put this in the beginning somehow.
Yeah. And then moving on, we get Natalie meeting with Thaisa Van, somebody else, and then Misty wants to join in, but they kind of ditch Misty again, kind of showing Misty's still the outsider.
Yeah.
Which again, is presumably always going to be the case. And they kind of discuss, like, I guess, like they look for Ben after, the cabin burned down. But like I said, in Van's retelling what happened, she's the one who brought up, like, oh, yeah, they kept the cabin burning for warmth, and then spring came and all that shit. Again, I don't like that they just told us that. We should have actually seen it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and then now we're also being told they looked for Ben because they believe he's the person who burned the cabin down. You're actually the one who pointed out to me. I thought it was clear that he was the one who burned the cabin down. You said it was left vague. Because, yeah, we didn't actually see him light it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of... So, yeah, everyone... All the Yellowjackets are under the assumption that he burned it down. So, if it was left ambiguous, I'm curious if they'll do anything with that.
Based on this episode, I wouldn't mind if it was him, but that's mainly of how the past ended.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it was Ben, because again, that'd be, again, fucking the Giga Chad Ben being like, fuck everybody in that cabin. They're gonna find me and eat me. I'm lighting their asses on fire.
Yeah. I do wonder, too, if Natalie, because they said they looked for Ben's body, I'm wondering if Natalie was kind of BSing on that, because she doesn't necessarily know what Ben is, but Ben mentioned he had found, like, shelter where they could live, so maybe, like...
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So, I don't think Natalie's 100%, like again, I don't think she's lying, because she says herself, like, she's, like, looked around for miles and miles, and they've found no sight of him, so they believe he either starved or, froze.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can buy that. Again, I believe Natalie was, like, one of the ones hunting until the new girl, like, learned how to hunt.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I could buy it. And, she was doing that before last season. Like, she was kind of scouting the area. So again, considering Ben only has one leg, I can buy that she looked around and, like, she never found him. So he assumed, like, he died.
Yeah.
But again, she probably left out the fact that he said he found, like, shelter.
Yeah.
But, like, she probably does believe that he actually did die.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of it for their meeting. So, obviously, everybody at the camp is like, fuck Ben, because they believe he burned the cabin down. Again, it sucks. Ben's my favorite character. He's probably not going to make it out of the season.
Probably not. I know out of the winter now, we didn't know that before, but it's probably looking like still to be the case, especially if everyone's against him now. So
we've had at least one death, exactly one death each season. So I'm going to assume Ben's going to die this season. If you were going to kill somebody off, I assume it would be him. And then, yeah.
But
I used to kind of pull out, huh?
Unless you want to get to it later, are you going to get to the more on the Ben thing, or do you want to wait on that?
Ben was going to be actually the last thing I talk about.
Because he's
save the best, of course. I suppose Natalie aside after the meeting and says, like, hey, can you do something about Mari and Shauna, I guess. So, we saw they kind of were having a beef earlier, presumably, and then Kaisa mentions this has been like an ongoing thing between them. And I kind of like this, because this was actually kind of set up a little bit in the background before, where Mari kind of threw shade at Shauna over, like, Jackie.
Yeah.
Where, like, oh, now you're going to protect her. In, like, one other instance, so Mari kind of having a beef with Shauna was kind of, like, set up before. So I kind of like that, kind of expanding on that a little bit.
And I like that they'll put it up, because Natalie thinks it's going to blow over. They think it's like high school drama, but then they kind of remind...
And again, I like that Natalie's not ruling with an iron fist. She's kind of been a down-to-earth leader. She's not really going to make everybody do something. She's just kind of the one keeping the peace and, like, instructing them.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's pretty in character for Natalie. I would be surprised if Natalie was kind of the one to rule with an iron fist. And yeah, like you said, she kind of views it as like stupid high school girl stuff, and Kaisa has to one to kind of be like, listen, the stuff with Jackie was just like high school girl stuff, but like, look how that turned out. Like out here, anything could be life and death.
Yep.
I like that. Again, that was a good conversation. I understood both points of view. I'm like, that was good. That was good. I'm like the character decisions are already like so much smarter this season, compared to last season.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. That maybe it just took like the original writers to like be like, I like to think it's the other writer that hasn't written the episodes in a while, because he wrote like season 2, episode 2, and that was like one of the best seasons of season 2. Like, hey, have this guy write the show from now on by himself.
Yeah. So yeah, later that night, again, the servants are serving the winners their meal. And I like this, again, they kind of have dressed up with little white capes like that they've made.
Yeah.
And they're serving them. Sorry. Fuck me. I totally forgot about a scene with Lottie and Travis.
Yeah, it's not that important, but it kind of is for the later thing.
Yeah, well, this is going to be something I'm going to complain about a little bit. So Travis is high on like fucking, I don't know, the fucking Avatar, fucking cactus juice.
I'm gonna say Travis was gonna go hunt, but then he got high. I don't know if you get that joke, but it's a song. Well, not that song, but it's I didn't say it, but yeah.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, the people who've lost the most are Shauna, Ben, and Travis. Shauna lost her best friend and her baby. She's, again, lashing out at everybody and extremely bitter towards everything, and is like extremely has no hope. Like she says, like even if they get rescued, she doesn't think it's going to fix anything. Ben, of course, lost his leg and is dealing with the fact that like he is regretting not staying with his ex-boyfriend. Now he's in this situation. He, of course, is extremely depressed and like feels like the people he's around are monsters, and he's kind of been living on his own for presumably months now. And then Travis, he's lost his father and his brother. What's he doing? He's fucking just chilling. He's becoming one with the Force, you know? He's fucking vibing, man. He's just fucking getting blasted. Fucking even Lottie is kind of like, hey, Travis, are you, like, okay? Your brother, like, died. Are you, like... And he's like, nah, man, I'm chill. I'm good.
Did Lottie just say, like, what we were saying, like, the last, like, episode of the show?
Yeah, usually Lottie watched her reviews, and she's like, so, Travis, are you, like, good? Like, your brother kind of, like, got murdered, and we ate him. And Travis is like, I had a brother? You know?
Honestly, you kind of feel that way.
Yeah.
I like to think, too, that Travis actually wasn't high. This is, like, normal.
It's just how he... I do like that Lottie and Travis are having a scene together. Because again, it's presumably now that Natalie's dead, we're not really going to get more. We're not going to get more on Travis's murder. So presumably, yeah. Travis is the one. Travis called Lottie before he killed himself.
Yeah.
So if they're going to have that level of like trust between each other, it makes sense that they're going to have some like scenes together in the past.
Yeah, that's good. You know.
Again, I don't really like that. That's how Travis died, but if that's what you're gonna do, then yeah, cool. Set up some scenes between Lottie and Travis to try and make that make more sense.
It's a weird situation we're in. We have to get these scenes and like these scenes, even though we don't like where these scenes are gonna like end up.
Yeah, again, okay, I know where they're going with these scenes. Like I like these scenes, but I don't like what they're leading to.
So it's a really weird like interest. The Star Wars have it.
Yeah. It's like anti-payoff. We're like, we already got the payoff. I don't like the payoff. Now we're getting the scenes that build up to it. And we're like, okay, I like these, but I don't fucking like what they lead to.
I am wondering, I know that this is kind of going off topic, but it kind of is on what's like Travis's role in this show going to be now that Natalie is dead in the present. Like, I feel like he won't get as much focus now because Natalie's dead in the present.
Yeah, and it's also like, again, I'm glad we're getting a scene with Lottie because also Travis has been like solely Natalie's story. Like Travis has interacted with like fucking nobody else.
Yeah.
He barely interacted with his own brother.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, you know, Travis is going to be in this fucking show and Natalie and him are both present dead. It's like, yeah, I guess the least you could do is kind of spit him into other people's stories.
That's good.
Yeah, so again, I'm liking that they're kind of fixing our issues with the previous seasons, but it's kind of hard to, like, fix it. You know, it's kind of like, shit, you got to really damage control it.
It's like putting a lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig.
That's a really good fucking, that's a really good, I'm going to use that from now on. That's a good metaphor.
You've never heard of that before?
No, I've never heard that.
That's a pretty common metaphor. I'm surprised, actually.
feel like it's a very southern metaphor, and I figure I would have heard that in Florida.
Yeah, but yeah, it's you can put as much lipstick as you want on the build-up of Travis's death, but it's still gonna suck.
Yeah. And then Lottie fucking finally decides to tell people about her schizophrenia. Of course, he only does it to a high person who's not going to fucking remember this, but sure, close enough. You know, baby steps, baby steps.
I don't know where this was like 2 seasons ago. I would have saw.
Yeah, yeah. So I like fucking was seeing shit because I like had schizophrenia and I took medicine for it. And Travis, it felt like Travis was even kind of like, wait, so you saw things because of your like mental disorder? And she's like, yeah. And I feel like if Travis wasn't, he'd be like, oh my God, you've been making us fucking all religious and you're just fucking mental.
I feel maybe that's why she got him high, so she could tell somebody. It's like,
yeah. It's kind of like, okay, so I probably should have mentioned this earlier, so here's the thing.
I'm pretty sure RVB, this is like RVB has a joke like that, like Caboose said something like at the end when it was too late type of thing or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, again, at least Lottie finally fucking told somebody. That's nice. You know, again, baby steps. And then Travis has a fucking little freak out and he's here screaming. And Lottie doesn't. And Travis says, you will. Okay, Travis. Fucking, again, it's the issue of grab somebody by the fucking shoulders and it's like, what do you mean by that?
Or pull a bed and just go...
Fucking riddles.
Or pull a fucking bed and just go fucking... Bed would have taken this and like... Fucking...
I know, right? Oh my God.
I can't believe this group got this far without Ben. Like, Ben... Like, I can't believe it.
I know, literally, they would have died 5 seconds after the cabin burned down because they would forget how to breathe.
But
I feel like that they're continuing that Lottie is no longer hearing or seeing things from the wilderness.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Again, I like what they're doing here. Just unfortunate that we kind of know the payoff already.
I just wonder, like, why she's not seeing these things if she's off of meds at this point. Like, is it just normal for her now? Like, I'm not...
Yeah, that kind of ties into the, like, is the wilderness an actual thing? And what was she seeing? Was it actually, like, visions?
Yeah.
At the end of season 2, she mentioned that, like, she no longer could hear the wilderness. And she believed that, like, it was Natalie that was supposed to lead them and not Lottie.
Yeah.
So maybe this kind of continues that idea of the wilderness no longer wants to, like, speak to Lottie.
Yeah.
Again, they're keeping it vague if the wilderness is, like, an actual thing or not. But if it is an actual thing, that would kind of make sense why Lottie stopped seeing stuff.
Yeah, if it is. Yeah.
And if it isn't, then I have no fucking clue.
I know. I don't want that reveal anytime soon, but when we get that reveal, that's gonna change whether it is or it isn't or not. I hope we don't get the thing.
Yeah, the wilderness is a real thing. I feel like a lot of things will make sense, and if it isn't, I'm gonna have so many questions on so many things that happened.
I hope they don't pull the bullshit at the end where like they keep it vague and it's like up to the audience.
Yeah, I hope we do get an actual answer eventually. If they keep it vague the whole time, I'm going to be like, okay, well, fucking great, waste of time.
Because that's like a big thing that everyone talks about the whole time, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, that's like the main mystery of the show. If they never fucking answer it, I'm going to be a little...
Yeah. That would be like the director's things, because the director mentioned he did experiments type of thing. Because we know what the experiments are, but like, they're vague enough on like what they are. But like but we know that he's done the experiments, so we kind of know what the experiments are. We just don't exactly know the setup to the experiments type of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the scene with Lottie and Travis. Then we get to that night with dinner. Again, I'm skipping over the Ben stuff till later. So yeah, the dinner happens. They're serving everybody like a little porridge thing. And then Shauna is the one serving Maury, and she spits in it. And she's kind of pressuring Maury to eat it in front of everybody. And then Maury has to be like, what the fuck? Like, you spit in it, and Shauna's like denying it. And Shauna's really getting in her face, being like, eat it. You know, like, I wouldn't do that. Like, she's basically bullying Maury into like eating her spit.
Yeah.
And I always shit on Maury, but I like that they're having it that Sean is the one like being hyper aggressive here.
Me too.
Like because again, if Mario was the one being a bitch like the entire time, I'd be on Shauna's side. But like I like that they're again making it that like Shauna's kind of the one, like Shauna's the one in the wrong here, like 100%.
Very
Like
much
I don't
so.
fucking love Shauna's the one in the wrong here. And then yeah, Maury kind of just spills on the ground, and then Shauna just grabs her and fucking slams her face into it, and like starts screaming at her like "eat it," and everybody has to like again pull Shauna off of her. And I do like this where Natalie now finally is the one kind of taking charge. And I like how she even says like, "Oh great, so since you're making me be camp counselor, I'll be camp counselor."
Yeah.
Because again, presumably up to this point, everyone's been cooperating fine. So I think this is one of the first times when Natalie has had to kind of like pull the leader card.
Yep.
And she tries to be fair and kind of punish both of them. And she says that they're both under house arrest for 1 week. And Maury's like, "What the fuck? I didn't even do anything." And then, Natalie's like, "I'm going to make it 2 if you keep back talking, Maury." So Maury, again, it's kind of weird nobody stops her here considering what happened to Jackie. But Maury rips off her little cape thing. It's like, "All right, you know what? Fuck all of you. I'm leaving." And again, considering that's how Jackie died, you figure they would have all like calmed her down a little bit. But Natalie's like, "Nah, fine, leave her."
Yeah, that was weird. But I like this, I like how Sean is being cool with everybody. I like that Natalie finally stepped in. And it feels like Natalie's only going to use the Queen code when it's like absolutely necessary. So I like that.
I'm curious what we're going to get with Sean and Taissa, because the only real friend Sean has had out here is Taissa. So I'm curious if Sean is going to kind of lash out as well.
Yeah. I am also curious what role Natalie's going to have in this season because, it was just this episode, but now that she's not in the present, I'm wondering like if she's going to be as important in the past.
Yeah.
But obviously time will tell. One good thing is for at least this episode, I was able to kind of forget that like Natalie wasn't the greatest in season 2. It seems like this actress was able to still keep Natalie pretty likable.
Like present, season like the past of season 2, Natalie was fine.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But yeah, continuing on, Maury, while she's out about, everyone hears a scream, and Lottie's like, "Oh shit, Travis, is that what you heard earlier?"
Yeah.
And yeah, later, like the next day, presumably, Lottie fell in a hole. If she is Pit Girl again, that's gonna be kind of fun-ish foreshadowing.
No, Maury, not Lottie. You said Lottie.
I'm sorry, Maury. Yeah, Maury fell in a hole. And if Maury is Pit Girl, nice foreshadowing. And who is the one who made this hole? It's nobody but Big Ben himself. So up to this point, Ben, he was walking around the woods, looking for game. He was setting up traps, and I'm like, yes, Ben. Obviously he has one leg, so he can't really be out hunting. So he's setting up traps, the kind of trap deer and stuff. I'm like, yes, Ben with the smart moves, always.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like, Ben, you're so fucking smart. Holy shit, you have a brain.
I would.
This one felt kind of weird, where he's kind of just walking around, walking.
I know. I'd have to do that to him.
Huh?
Why'd you have to do that to him? Like,
I have to again. It's fucking the wilderness had to nerf him. That's fucking. I have to point it out.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He stepped on a hidden box, and so obviously we knew the cabin guy was here, but we don't know if the cabin guy was the one who made this or if somebody else did. Somebody left a little hidden thing in the ground with a bunch of resources, kind of like not MRIs, but preservatives, like food that's meant to last a long time.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's the cabin guy because they mentioned the cabin guy was stocked up for the apocalypse, essentially.
Yeah.
If it isn't the cabin guy, then it's a mystery for who else was out here.
I like to think it was cabin guy.
Yeah, but I mean, again, Javi mentioned that somebody told him not to come back, and like, so like, you know, maybe somebody else is out there with him. We don't know. But yeah, Ben started eating some of the snacks, and he pulled out all the boxes out of the hole. He's presumably going to take the boxes back to his hideout. And he also, again, fucking making smart moves, left some of the food on the ground, and he left a little like snare for it. So he's presumably, if any deer come by to like take the food, it'll trap the deer, and he can come back for it later and kill the deer for more food. Like, let's go, Ben. Let's go.
Again, these are just little scenes, but they're so good because Ben is just so smart and resourceful.
Ben, he's doing everything right. Ben always makes the smart moves.
I like that, and it still stands out, even though everyone else is starting to smarten up and make good decisions. Ben's still the one standing out of all this somehow.
Ben has not done anything wrong. Ben has only done shit right.
Ben is awesome.
Ben's so fucking cool. Then yeah, sure enough, fucking the quote Thanos from Avengers. Well, you cannot live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Because he fucking goes back to his hole, and fucking a little dipshit fell right into it. A little Mario herself.
Yep.
And then he kind of smiles and wonder what's going to happen here. Ben seemed pretty against the whole cannibalism thing, but he also, again, if he is the one who burned down the cabin, he obviously doesn't want Mari fucking telling everybody else that he's still alive. So I'm curious what Ben is going to do in this situation. And I'm like, again, let's go. This is so interesting. Again, you're putting Ben in this situation. I'm like, shit, what does Ben do? I'm curious to find out what Ben's going to do in this situation.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's like, he doesn't want to kill and eat people, but he also doesn't want to, like I said, he doesn't want Mari going to everybody. So what's he going to do? This is a very interesting moral situation for Ben. But it's also, Ben's kind of been isolated for a while. So it's like, okay, well, maybe he's got a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah.
So I'm really interested in what they're going to do with this. I'm like, okay, let's go. Yellowjackets is like back to fucking, I'm interested again.
I really like this, yeah. You know, Ben did smile a little bit when he heard the fall, but I think he thought it was just a deal originally, and then when he saw that it was Molly, I am interested to see what he do with this, because again, we don't really know what Ben... Because we didn't get
the reaction when he saw it was Mari.
I mean,
the prediction, I think he's gonna take Mari prisoner, because it looks like Mari broke her leg, which again I think is really funny that Mari was like gonna punch the crippled man last season. So it's like, well, Mari. It looks like me and you are evened out.
Yeah. So that's what I think might happen. I think he's gonna take her prisoner. I think somehow she'll escape, probably.
Yeah.
And then yell for help, and then that's when everyone else will, warn him, type of thing. And then I'm interested to see and then everyone will kill Ben. And then
I'm presumably if Ben dies, it's gonna be like season finale thing. So I'm like, okay, how can they make this a whole season? You know?
Yeah.
Because Ben halfway through the season, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because he's the best thing in the whole show. So.
Right. So they're gonna kill him. Presumably it's gonna be the whole season.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to.
I imagine it'd be kind of cool if they make an alliance with him. You know, where Ben's like, hey, listen, I found all this shit. So there's food hidden out here, you know?
Yeah.
And it could be a mystery of oh shit, if there's food hidden out here, there might be people out here.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. If it isn't Cabin Guy, hid all this out here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
But again, if they think he's going to burn the cabin down, why would they make an alliance with him? Well, again, that maybe the reveal is he isn't the one who burned the cabin down. They kind of sort it out and they make an alliance with him. But I don't know how that would work because would they believe him if he says he's not the one who burned the cabin down?
I would like it if they kind of do the Adam thing where they kill him and then they find out later on after he's dead that he didn't burn the cabin down. It'd
be like fucking Ben dies, a fucking always making the right decisions.
Yeah.
And again, it would solidify everyone else as a dipshit.
Right.
Well, that would be. I would understand why they would. If I were in this situation, I would believe Ben was the one who burned the cabin down.
Yeah.
So like that would make sense. Like I would be like, okay, that I obviously if they were wrong, like that's a situation where I'm like, okay, you were wrong, but like I understand why you made that decision.
The one that I hope that doesn't come from this episode is that Ben set this trap for someone, because that wouldn't make sense either, because Ben wasn't being hunted by them.
Assumption that like Ben didn't even know they survived. Like if Ben was the one who burned the cabin down, like I presumably he would just think they all died.
Yeah. But we'll see. The whole thing about the cabin burning down, I hope they don't keep it vague.
Yeah, I hope we get an actual answer on it.
I kind of hope Ben did burn the cabin down, and then that's gonna make this story really interesting.
That would make Ben so much more interesting. Of like, more morally gray. Of like, well, it's just morally gray in the sense of like, I would get why he did it. You would think everybody's a fucking monster who like eats everybody. And I'm like, yeah, if I were in this situation, I would fucking burn the cabin down too.
Yeah. So we'll see. But that was the.
So yeah, it's a weird case of like, I really like the stuff in this episode. I just wish it was the season 4 episode 1. Like we skipped so much shit.
Speaking of skip, you skipped a scene, the memorial at night.
Oh yeah, right. So at the dinner, they all do a little toast for the baby, for Jackie, and for Javi. Fuck Crystal, I guess.
Sure.
And that's it.
And then one thing that came out of it is when the baby got mentioned, like Shauna walked away, type of thing. So.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, obviously, Shauna's still upset about that.
And then there was screaming.
I already mentioned the screaming.
Yeah, but the screaming it happen again, like during the toast, and like everyone heard it this time. And then Lottie was like, "Was that?" So.
Yeah. So yeah, again, very short scene. Continuation of the dinner. Again, I think it's really weird that nobody fucking mentioned Crystal. Like, again, is Crystal like Misty's imaginary friend? Because like, if she's not, that makes no fucking sense. Why like everybody forgets she exists?
Yeah, but we'll see. But yeah, that was the past. For what it is, I like the past. It would have been a good season 4 premiere for the past, but no, it was season 3's instead. So that was weird. But whatever. We kind of did predictions already. But yeah, let's talk about the present / 2021, because that's not the present anymore in our timeline. It's a lot of stuff's happened since then. We've had another presidency since then. We've had
COVID.
Huh?
They're still in the middle of COVID.
I guess COVID's not a thing in this universe, because no one's following COVID protocols back then. So
instead of COVID, they had the fucking thing from the L movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I imagine this is like in the same universe as Death Note for some fucking reason.
It'd be weird because that Death Note movie took place in like 2006, so I don't know why it's like coming back now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still remember a reason I made up was like L couldn't get
the wilderness. Like, okay, look, you could either have COVID or the fucking thing from the L movie. Like, take your pick.
I don't know which one I would pick. They both seem pretty deadly.
Yeah. I guess 2006, because I was only a little kid and I wouldn't remember it super well.
Yeah. I still remember I made up like a reason why L couldn't get the sickness. It never was said in the show, but like I guess because he wrote his name in the death note, so his death was already confirmed. But like I don't think that was ever.
Well, yeah, like you said, so like what? If he got shot in the face, would he not die?
Why not?
Yeah. We definitely got to do like a trilogy review sometime for those movies.
Yeah. But yeah, going to the present. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, going to the present of Yellowjackets. We got a time jump in the present also. It was like 6 weeks, Jeff says later on in the episode. I didn't mind that. I feel like, there wasn't really much they could do within that time. It was enough time where Natalie's ashes were cremated. So not much happened. I will complain about when we get to Thais' plot line, because a couple of things that would have been pretty interesting happened in those 6 weeks. But other than that...
Yeah, it's a bit about Thais' stuff when you get to it.
Yeah, but other than that, no one else in that timeline really would have been able to do anything. Like Misty wouldn't have really been able to do anything. She was still kind of moping about Natalie's death, and like Shauna, and Callie were kind of the storyline pretty much ended in season 2, that they weren't even there for. But so I'm not gonna complain about it as much. With Thais's plotline, it's more egregious. But other than that, I'm okay with the 6-week time jump. Are you cool with the 6-week jump? I just said a 16-week time jump, but no, are you cool with a 6-week time jump? Or do you think they could have?
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I mean, some emotions feel a little too raw, like Misty being depressed. Like for 6 weeks, I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like maybe 6 weeks is a little too much. I would have made it like 3 weeks. Like maybe a little under a month.
Yeah. But I'm gonna guess, like, when it came to Natalie's death, because of the circumstances around it, they had to do like an investigation. They had to like
get stuff like that, like all the police bullshit. Because presumably, obviously, like they framed Kevin for the Adam shit, so like that probably took a little while to deal with. So, yeah, 6 weeks, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got like. It's more consistent than last season, where like Thais's plotline felt like a day, whereas fucking Shauna's felt like 2 months.
Right. But yeah, I'll cover Natalie's funeral first. I know it's not the first that happens in the present, but I feel like it's the first in the immediate aftermath of everything, so I'll just cover that first. And yeah, we get Natalie's funeral. This is where we find out that it was still in 2021. I mean, I guess we always should have known that, but it's just real mind-boggling because, again, this show came out like so long ago. It just shows you like how much time has just jumped in between now and this show and everything like that. Like, wow, this is still 2021. Like, so much has happened, as I just said, since then. And Natalie's funeral was a fucking joke. And it kind of was, but not a funny joke. Her mom goes up.
For making it funny and like pathetic on purpose, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, her mom goes up. She doesn't really have a lot to say, which I thought said a lot about their relationship, but that was like it. We got like a minute, and like the service like ended. Not many people showed up to a funeral, which was kind of pathetic. I get Missy not being there, and Lottie we find out wasn't there because she's still in a mental asylum or institute, whatever.
Makes me wonder if Lottie's like not gonna be in this season.
No, she's in the trailers, so she will be. So I'm okay with her not being in this episode because give a while to build to that. But yeah, what a joke they made Natalie's funeral. This was a character they built up very well in season 1 and season 2, and this really sucks. It's gonna make past stuff of Natalie really tough to watch because she got like a joke of a funeral and just a joke of a death. And what a joke. And at the end, they do this thing they all have a conversation at the bar. They do a toast to Natalie. It's just Van, Thaisa, and Shauna. It seems like Van's going to take over like the main 4 of the group because with all the promotions they were doing to build up to this show, all the talk shows, the adult cast, it was Van that went on with everybody. So it seems like Van's going to be like now the new 4th of the main 4. Which I guess that makes sense because as we find out, her and Thaisa are dating now, and Van has always been kind of a mainstay in the past, so I guess that makes sense and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, this kind of leads to a question, and Shauna asking everyone like, what would everyone say during her funeral, since no one really said anything about Natalie's funeral, and they kind of make a joke about it a bit where Shauna talks about how like Jeff is gonna like really shine after her death, and like Callie will like be like a straight A student. It's a very offhanded here, but we find out that Thaisa impeached herself. That's really disappointing. They spent all of season 1 building up Thaisa as senator, and she like impeached herself off screen. We never even got to see her like take office. That's really disappointing. That made a whole plot line in season 1.
Simone was like, listen, you gotta fucking step down because you're a psycho, and Thaisa like didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Which again, we're gonna get to Simone in a minute.
And then we see off in the distance someone's watching over the group, and Shauna like looks over and notices this, and Thaisa and Van are like, Shauna, what are you looking at? And she kind of plays it off. This obviously was set up for something that ended up happening at the end of the episode, but it was like a very quick thing. You would definitely catch it, but you wouldn't really know what it is. I think you were meant to think it was Misty because the person had like blonde hair, like off of the a little bit off screen. You know, I liked Shauna talking about like what people would say about it with a funeral since Natalie got much or nothing, but this was just a joke. What a joke of a funeral Natalie got, and what a joke way to like say goodbye to a character.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing of like I get it. Like Natalie spent decades being like a drug addict. She obviously burnt a lot of bridges, and a lot of people probably assumed she was gonna die of a drug overdose. You know, but I feel like you could play that for tragedy. You know, instead of a joke of like fucking so many people kind of were expecting her to die of a drug overdose, and it's only a few people who like know the truth of that. Like, no, Natalie was getting better, kind of, and she like that wasn't how she actually died. But they can't like tell the truth of how she actually died. You know, it would be really cool if again the Yellowjackets kind of got to reflect on the fact that like Natalie saved their skins out in the wilderness so many times, and like they got her killed essentially, you know, by doing the hunt.
Yeah.
You know, and they fucking, you know, that would have been really interesting. But they were kind of just like, man, Natalie's funeral sucked ass. If I died, my funeral would probably suck ass. It's like, all right, Shauna, it doesn't have to be all about you. I mean, kind of focus on Natalie for a little bit. Like you said, it's like, I'm cool with her funeral being like sad and pathetic, but like instead of playing as a joke, make it like tragic.
Yeah. I think an example of this is in Better Call Saul. There's a character that dies, and like some of the people knew the fate of how it was going to happen, but it was still like a sad moment anyways, even though they knew that it was going to happen that way and everything like that. So I like that. Don't want to say too much on that because you haven't seen the end of Better Call Saul. So
okay. I was gonna say like if you're talking about begins with a C, but no, then obviously I know he dies. But if you're talking about the end of the show, then okay, then never mind.
Yeah. But yeah, then after this is like the only scene we get with all the casts together, which is very disappointing, I guess, because this was kind of a joke.
Yeah. Again, like with Natalie's mom, because we saw Natalie's mom had a strained relationship with Natalie. Her kind of just not really giving a shit at the funeral. Like I'm cool with that. But again, it's like even Shauna's just kind of sitting there, kind of like cracking jokes a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the fuck is Shauna cracking jokes? Like, Natalie fucking helped them survive out in the wilderness. And like, again, Shauna, you were part of the hunt. You indirectly got Natalie killed. Like, maybe you should be feeling some guilt, you know, for that. And no, everyone chill.
No fork girl, by the way.
Yep, she fucked off. Again, she's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm done. See, screw this shit. I'm out.
Yeah, so that proves that she was only there just to build up a relationship with Natalie. Just
indirectly. Like, okay, great.
Yeah, nothing. But yeah, let's get to the rest of the stuff that everyone's kind of doing in the present. Misty's having a bit of a tough time handling this. She's trying to meditate. And you can see that she's very depressed, and Elijah Wood / Walter comes in. You know.
He's like, hey, do you want to make the meta? And she's like, what? He's like, nothing.
You know what? If Sigma saw what Elijah Wood's become, he would be ashamed, I think.
Yeah.
I was going to get to that, but like, I don't think I've ever seen a waste of a character. Not really a character, an actor. The way Yellowjackets is wasted Elijah Wood.
Yeah, it's really weird. You get such a big name actor, and he's just like fucking a simp for Misty.
Yeah. We find out that Misty hasn't been going on any of the message boards for the murder cases like she was. Elijah Wood tells her about the funeral, but Misty doesn't really have much of a reaction to it. And then Elijah Wood puts a key down, and we find out. Well, we already knew this, but
yeah, back because it's been a while.
Yeah, they mentioned that Natalie had a storage unit, and Elijah Wood was kind of doing this to lift Misty's spirits up to make sure that like there wasn't anything incriminating or anything like that. Elijah Wood offers to go look for it himself, but that would require the writers actually like doing good shit with Elijah Wood and making him useful. So Misty said that she'll take care of it. And then Elijah Wood walks away smiling, showing that I think he wanted Misty to like do something useful. Unless this was a Sigma smile and like Elijah Wood's trying to make the meta using Misty.
Yeah, manipulating her. He's like, yes.
But that's different writers.
That guy somehow.
Yeah. Misty becomes the meta.
That.
But again, if it was the RVB writers, they would actually know what to do with Elijah Wood. But this the Yellowjackets writers, they don't know what to do with Elijah Wood. Except that one writer that was brought in like for one episode at the end of season 2, and like we're like, wait, you guys got Elijah Wood? We got to like do something with him, and then like
we got to like have him. We'll have him resolve the Adam murder. It's like, but he's not even a part of that. Shut up.
and then the creators and like the showrunner was like, okay, let's just pretend that Elijah Wood's not here. Let's just have it's like Elijah Wood's just paying a visit this day,
He just fuck on his lunch break, so he decided to film.
He's on his lunch break from filming his scenes with the being the meta in OVB.
Exactly.
So then Misty goes to the storage unit and kind of goes through Natalie's past, Natalie's stuff. We see the leather jacket. That was kind of a cool callback because she wore this all of season 1, and she goes to a bar, and she's acting like Natalie Diet. Or Diet Natalie, I guess it would be. Where she's ordering Natalie's drink, and she's acting like Natalie, acting very tough and everything like that. There's a couple of guys playing pool, and one of the guys like says nice jacket to her, and actually like meant it. It wasn't like being insulting or anything like that. And the bartender cuts her off because she's had like 7 shots of Jack Daniels. I don't even think that's what it was, but I'm just gonna say that. Past Natalie kind of comes in and says, "You're gonna take any shit from anyone." Probably would have made sense to have present day Natalie say this, because past Natalie and like past Misty never really had a relationship. But again, they probably couldn't get the present day like Natalie to come back, and if you're gonna get the present day Natalie to come back for this season, that would open up a can of worms, and I'd be like, well, if she came to do this scene, why isn't she in season 3? So I guess just have it be past day Natalie. And Misty goes up. She she threatens to get into a fight with these guys. These guys are just playing pool. They weren't really trying to harm anybody. And Misty kind of brings back that line where she threatens to light their dicks on fire, which I like that they did that. Eventually Misty just falls and she has like kind of a nervous breakdown a little bit. And then the guys call for security to kick her out. And we see that Misty is just on her own, alone walking. Very depressing here, the fact that, Misty feels like that she killed the only person she saw as a friend, and now she's really isolated herself from everyone in these last 6 weeks. And we see that there's a car pulling up in the background, and it's Elijah Wood, because he's just plot device. Is this even plot device anymore? It's like not even plot device. It's like
he is a strange. I don't even like. Again, he feels like he was pulled out of the writer's ass.
Yeah,
he just kind of does things, and I'm like, why? I don't fucking know.
But we find out that the bartender was actually not going to press charges. He just called. Misty left her phone there because originally Misty was just going to like wait for like Shauna or Thaisa to come pick him up. She knew that Van wasn't going to instantly, which was pretty funny. Elijah Wood has to break it. Seems like they're not coming, Misty. Like the bartender called. He went through all your contacts. He didn't pick up. No one picked up until they got to W, which is like he must have been calling for a while then. If Yeah.
But so yeah, kind of showing again. Like obviously we already knew that. Like they really don't give a fuck about Misty.
Yeah.
They were literally joking at the fact that like they didn't invite Misty to the funeral.
I would have liked it if they did something where like they got a call from Misty while they're in the middle of those storylines, but they didn't really do that.
I hope they obviously Misty isn't like fucking, she's a psycho, but like, I kind of hope they have Misty kind of realize that none of them care about her, and she kind of like, I don't know, kind of like separates from them a little bit.
Yeah, snaps or something.
Yeah.
We're kind of in new territory with Misty too, because now that Natalie's gone, that's been kind of a lot of Misty's plot.
Misty's storyline has like revolved around Natalie. So now Natalie's gone, Misty kind of has to carry her storyline.
So it'll be interesting to see if they can, she can pull her own weight there. But Misty breaks down crying and talks about she misses Natalie and kind of blames herself for getting her killed and everything like that. Elijah Wood comforts her. Good thing Elijah Wood went on his lunch break from OVB because he wasn't probably gonna. He was too busy being Sigma. So
as Misty's crying, he's thinking like, "I gotta be at Spy Kids 3 in 5 minutes."
Oh my gosh, that's it. He gets used even worse there. So
I know. Literally shows up. Well, that's the definition of a lunch break. He fucking shows up and dies. 2 minutes, less than 5 minutes.
So I actually like Misty's plot though. Seeing her reaction to the killing of Natalie kind of reminded me a little bit of not as much, but like Jesse, how he reacted after he killed Gale and everything like that in Breaking Bad. So I like Misty's plot. I don't think I'm kind of predicting she's not gonna be MVP this season, but she's gonna be like one of my favorite characters this season, type of thing.
Yeah, again, it really depends on if the writer can, if she can like hold her own storyline,
Yeah. I hope they don't stick to this Natalie stuff for too long. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I like this because at least Misty like made Natalie's death actually like meaningful somewhat, because obviously the funeral.
Yeah, the shit.
Huh?
Yeah, she's like the only one who gives a shit.
Yeah, so that's good. Anything you want to say about Misty's plot? Because I really.
No, I mean, I don't really have much to say about it. Like, it's fine. I guess the biggest thing is, like I said, it feels weird that Misty's like the only one who's kind of having a Natalie dying.
Yeah. And then we have Van and Thaisa's plot. After like the ball scene and everything like that, we see that Thaisa is back living at her house, and Van, I guess, I don't know if she's moved in, but she's been staying with Thaisa.
Once you get to it, I'm gonna go on a fucking rant.
Yeah, and I'm about to get to it. So Thaisa's on the phone with somebody, and we find out that it's Simone. This is really disappointing. You know what? I'm gonna let you unload here because it's a little thin, but this is really disappointing because we were like fantasy writing, like what is are they gonna do anything with Simone? Like she's still in a coma and everything like that. Well, it's kind of a little bit of this is such a small scene, but it's such a big deal. Why don't you talk about how they kind of brought Simone back?
So, kind of in the same way where they offhandedly mention that Thaisa impeached herself from the senator office off screen. Big thing for Thaisa was her tension with her wife and her son. And something we have mentioned kind of off the show is Sammy's a child, and years have passed in the real life. So it's kind of like they're gonna have to recast Sammy or not have him in the show because he's obviously aged a lot in real life. And yeah, sure enough, Simone and Sammy are pretty much all but confirmed that they're not going to be in the fucking show anymore. Because Simone was in like one episode last season where she got put in a coma, and it kind of the whole thing, and it's really fucking weird. Where again, Thaisa was like acting like she already wasn't married, like she was hitting on Van and like wanting to get in a relationship, and then she started making out with her. Like it's like, okay, Thaisa, like you're married. I think you forgot. Like the writers were already kind of setting them up to get back together. And it's like, okay, you're really pushing it like immediately.
Yeah.
Like they just started hanging out again. They're already trying to get together. Like you were rushing the fuck out of it. And a big fucking worry I had was like, oh, they're gonna kill Simone when she's in the coma, or like like something. They're gonna like kind of cut that storyline off. which sucks because I think it could be a really interesting drama of like, oh shit, what's Simone? Is Simone gonna tell people about Taissa being a psycho? Is Taissa gonna have to struggle a bit of like, am I gonna stay with Simone and my son, or am I gonna go back with Van? Like, what's the drama there? Nope, fuck that. She's out of the coma, I guess. And then she's probably not gonna be in this fucking season because Taissa just has a phone call where she's like, "Can I talk to Sammy?" No. Okay. Bye. And then they hang up. It's like, well, Van's living with Taissa. We don't get to hear Simone. We don't get to see Simone. So she's probably not going to be in the whole fucking season. So yeah, Taissa's wife gone. Sammy gone. Like he doesn't want to talk to Taissa. Simone doesn't want to talk to Taissa. So they're just probably not going to be in the show anymore. And I'm like, well, why the fuck did you have Taissa married and have a kid in the first place then?
I don't get it. I feel like this is going to ruin the breakup when it happens in the past, too, because we know the breakup isn't going to be, like, all that bad.
And it feels like they just had this phone call in there to address the fact that they're not going to be in the show. He's literally 2 seconds later, she's like, so Van, you want to sleep in my bed tonight?
Yeah.
You know? Okay, Taissa, like, you're fucking so horny. Like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't get this.
Like, really, Taissa does not give a flying fuck that she almost killed her wife.
No, not at all. I feel like a lot of Taissa's plot lines, both timelines, have just been very disappointing. And, like, this episode just, like, made Taissa's plot lines just a waste of time. Her being senator, waste of time, because she just impeached herself, like, off-screen. That could have been a really good episode.
And of course, off-screen. Sammy hates her. Off-screen.
Yep. I feel like we're gonna find out that she like sleepwalked and did a bunch of weird shit, and they're gonna get like to the premise of why she sleepwalked. That would just all be handled off screen now too. Like, might as well.
Really, in the like the writers want Taissa and Van to get back together, so they're like, fuck everything else. We are beelining it towards that.
Yeah, it's I get it. This really sucks because I feel like Taissa is supposed to be a character that everyone really wants to like, but the writers do not handle Taissa very well at all.
Dan had a fucking amazing point of like, you ditched me to like go to college and like date around, which I presumably she dated guys because then Dan mentions that like, oh, and then he turned out to be gay anyway.
Yeah.
And married to a woman, and then you're still married to that woman, but now you have me living in your house, and you're surprised that I'm terminally ill and I don't want to fuck you. And I'm like, thank you, Van, for making a lot of good points.
Yep. But yeah, so then they go out to dinner.
Sorry. Also, Van, like, don't you own like a store? And like, you did not want to get back with Taissa, so why are you now living with Taissa?
Not sure. They didn't explain any of that because
they had that argument last season where Taissa offers to like pay for her medical shit and like have Van live with her, and Van was like, no.
They just handle that off screen because it's
yes, off screen. Yep.
So then Taissa and Van go out to dinner. And it's a very fancy restaurant, so Van's not very into it. And Taissa kind of sees that instantly, so Taissa's just like, you know what, you just want to blow this off, and we just want a pizza and eat it on the roof. And Van's cool with it. And then they pull an old trick that they used to do back in the day where they're just going to pay without... Sorry, they're going to leave without paying. I almost reversed that and said pay without leaving. That would be weird.
Here's our money. We're going to live here now. We're never leaving.
So they sneak out, but the waiter catches them. And he's got some commitment. I gotta give the waiter this. Like, he really wants to make sure they get their money's worth, because he chases them and he chases them a good distance, too.
He literally was like, I would rather die than have them fucking not pay for the dinner.
It's not like, too, he's gonna get... It's not like he's gonna get any of that money anyway, so I don't know. Like, honestly, like, I would not give a fuck if I was the waiter, probably. I'd be like,
he really wants that.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess he has a heart condition, and I'm like, why the fuck are you chasing them down if you have a fucking heart condition?
I don't know. Does he? Maybe he needs the money for his...
Or he doesn't have a heart condition, and he's just fucking really bad timing.
Yeah. But yeah, he chased down Taissa and Van. Pretty cool song plays doing this. It's I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany something. I forget her name. I probably have that one. It fit the theme, I guess. And then Thais and Van almost get hit by a car. And then the waiter goes to across the street and like go after them, but he almost gets hit by a bus, and then a good Samaritan saves him. And then, like you said, he has a heart condition, or again, just shitty timing. He falls to the floor and starts twitching and everything like that. And the good Samaritan's giving him CPR. And Thais and Van don't even know this happened. I would like if this pops up on the news and then they have a questionable morale, I guess. And then afterwards, Thaisa and Van start making out, and then Thaisa sees the man with no eyes. This is the first time I think she's seen him in the present, so that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about the storyline because I think they abandoned it last season.
Yeah, they haven't since like season 1.
So,
we have fuck that even is like she was seeing them before the wilderness, so I'm like, is that like tied to the wilderness or like what the fuck is it?
Yeah. Thais and Van's plotline was pretty underwhelming. I really didn't care about it that much. And
I'm gonna go one step further. I'm not underwhelmed. I'm fucking pissed off.
Me too.
By it. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Because like all the past shit, I'm like, okay, I'm disappointed they skipped so much important stuff. But, like, I still like what we got. I just hate that we skipped over so much important shit. This is like we skipped over important shit, and I don't fucking like it.
It's terrible. Then we have Shauna and Callie's plot. As I said off screen, and I think I said this during the Red versus Blue and Yellowjackets comparison video, Callie is a main character now. She moved up from recurring to main. We talked about this before, though. I think season 2, she was pretty much a main character anyways. So, but now you can definitely tell by this episode, it's definitely that way. Callie's smoking pot, or chronics, as Shauna and Jeff like to call it. And her alarm goes off, and she's running late for school. And Shauna comes in, and Shauna is kind of going back to real life, kind of giving Callie shit for not putting her, dirty dishes in the dishwasher. And I like this, where, like, Shauna's giving her shit for it, and Callie's like, are you really going to give me shit for that after all the shit we just went through type of thing? So it's kind of like that contrast where, like, the parents want to get back to, like, their day-to-day lives, but, like, Callie's point of view, like, she really wasn't a part of any of this before, and she just walked away from all that shit, and now she has to go back to her day-to-day life. It's not necessarily an easy thing. Doing all this, she kind of tells she tells Callie about the funeral, and that kind of gets them, like, bonding. But Callie doesn't really have a feeling towards it because, she's not really sure about the relationship between Natalie and Shauna, and obviously, she thinks it's weird that Shauna even feels bad because obviously the thing that Natalie was doing before this was they were hunting Shauna. So, like, I think Callie's, like, weirded out why Shauna's sad about this type of thing. So that makes sense. And then at the high school, I like this. We got to see the high school for the first time. Again, I think, because I think they said during the RVB and Yellowjackets comparison video, is we haven't really seen, like, the town that much. So we got to see, like, the high school. I don't remember the name of the high school, but we got to see it, so that's cool. I think we saw episode 1, because obviously it's the same episode, but... some random girls that we never seen before, because Callie wasn't a main character before. Obviously, now Natalie's picture is in the, like, trophy case with all the Yellowjackets memorabilia, because... Natalie just died, so all the women are making comments about, like, and making theories about Yellowjackets, and obviously saying stuff that isn't true, and kind of making fun of Callie and her family. And they mentioned, like, we're gonna get, like, Callie's ex-boyfriend, like, really drunk and asked if she's into, like, guts and all that shit. And of course they walk away, and we see that Callie's locker is, like, right next to, like, the trophy case, which is a really shitty pick for a locker, that Nally got that locker, so that she has to walk by that every day. But whatever. And obviously, something was gonna come of this. Because obviously Callie's not gonna take the Family Guy method, where it's just like, random faces that we never see. I remember they did like a joke about that. Family Guy did one time, type of thing. Where it's like, yeah, most of them were just background characters that just blink and never really say anything. Callie didn't.
I think the joke is, when she pours all that shit in the cafeteria. I thought you were gonna make the joke about how when Meg and Chris like dealt with their bullies by like killing everybody in the cafeteria.
Oh no, I was going by because these are just random characters we haven't seen before, so that's the joke I was making. So, Callie orders something on Uber Eats, and we don't really know what it is. I like that Randy was the Uber Eats guy. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that Randy's got like his own little thing going on in the background, and like nobody's kind of paying attention to it. Again, it's like how Keita's dad has like his own little fucking life going on outside of Kiss Sis. Then we got like the fucking Randy show as like its own thing in the background.
I think that needs to be a spin-off now, the Randy show, like what he's doing. Yeah. I want this to be a running joke every episode. He comes back in like a different role, like every episode, because type of thing.
Yeah.
Not like that. Like he's the same character, but he comes back and like he's doing different stuff.
Every job in town.
Yeah, like that gay guy from Family Guy who has like every job in town. Like
yeah, I was gonna say yeah. Funny enough, because we mentioned Fate. I was talking about Fate off camera. There's a Fate spinoff where the joke is that Lancer is like every job in town.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You haven't seen Fate, but it's the same joke as Family Guy, where the gay guy is like every job.
And we find out something happened off screen that we see later, and Shauna gets a call from the principal. She has his contact in his phone, which is pretty weird, but whatever. And we find out that and also before this, we see that Shauna was searching Callie's room because Shauna called her out for smoking weed, and Callie denied it, and then she found the weed, and we originally, I think, huh?
I was making a Snoop Dogg reference.
I didn't hear it because I was talking over you. So
I said smoke weed every day. The Snoop Dogg song.
Yeah, and I guess Callie took that to heart. So
yeah,
and I think we were meant to think that Shauna was going to use this to bust Callie for it, but no, she wanted it for herself. And then we find out off screen that Callie got suspended from school. And I really like this. This is a good contrast because Jeff and Shauna are having a talk, and Shauna's like genuinely worried about Callie. She talks about like how she's not really sure why Callie, because we find out that Callie like went and like poured guts onto.
You said Shauna's genuinely worried. It's Jeff who's genuinely worried.
Oh, that's what I meant. I meant Jeff. And we find out that she poured guts on girls, and they're not really sure like why. They did this. Jeff is thinking like it has something to do with that she's traumatized because obviously she's been through a lot the past 6 weeks. And Sean is very, doesn't really have much of a reaction to it. One, because she's high, and two, because she doesn't really show much of an interest into like worrying about Callie anyways. But I do like this contrast because obviously Jeff and Callie had that talk like in season 2, episode 8.
Yes. Yeah, I'm really hoping we get some more conflict between Jeff and Shauna this season, because especially the end of this episode with Shauna kind of encouraging Callie's bad behavior. I'm really hoping Jeff kind of like snaps on Shauna.
Yeah, me too. And Jeff is kind of getting upset with Shauna that she's not really taking this too seriously. Like Callie wasn't even like there. She like let Callie go off and like do something. And then Jeff notices that Shauna has also been smoking pot, and they kind of mirror the same conversation that Shauna and Callie had earlier in the episode. And then later in the night, Shauna and Callie are doing homeschooling. So there's a lesson: don't ever get suspended if your mom's a stay-at-home, or if you have a stay-home parent.
I cannot fucking believe Callie didn't get expelled.
Yeah, but
she probably should have fucking like asked to go to like court or something. Like she literally assaulted them.
Yep. Obviously it's going very badly. And Shauna's actually trying to get a conversation going because Callie's like asking where Jeff is, and Shauna mentions that like Jeff went to the gym, and she mentioned that Jeff is upset but also concerned, and Shauna says that she is also. And originally they think it's because it's what Callie's gone through the last 6 weeks, but Callie says like no. She kind of mentions that like there were some girls in our school that were like making fun of my mom, and I just wanted to teach them a lesson. And we find out that it's on video. Her friend Alana took the video. I feel like Alana's gonna be like the one character that like we never see, like Walter's mom from Breaking Bad. We're like never gonna see our friend Alana in this show. But whatever. They'll recast people.
Friend Alana when she was at the bar and she met Mr. Mustache.
Not sure.
Oh, okay.
It could have been, but like they didn't say the name, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. That's her other friend, Yolana.
Yeah, Elena.
Yeah, you know what? That's better. Thank you.
I like how they'll recast people, but they won't cast the people they've mentioned off screen, but they'll recast people.
I know, right?
And we see that Callie plays the video. And this was cool. They shot this as if it was being filmed on a cell phone, which was pretty cool. Really high res cell phone, by the way, too. Like I wish my cell phone was like this. But we see that Callie, went and just spilled the guts all over them. And Shauna's encouraging this bad behavior. She's even asking because when Callie mentions that she didn't do this because of all the psycho stuff, she mentioned why she did it was to stick up for her mom, and Shauna even goes like, "Oh, that's all it was." Like, Shauna, what do you mean that's all it was? That's still bad. This is still really bad. And she's like encouraging Callie to like play the video again, and they probably watch it 40.
And again, it feels like, Shauna essentially never grew up, Like, she's still essentially a fucking teenage girl, So she's kind of, like, laughing with Callie like she would a friend. And I think that was kind of the point of the thing earlier, when Callie points out, like, people don't call weed chronic.
Yeah.
Like, and then when she chronic, she, again, kind of was, like, in Callie's role.
Yeah. And, then later in the night, Callie's making a sundae, and we see something off screen, like, watching over them. And the screen door opens, and Callie overhears it, and we see that Shauna got an envelope with the Yellowjackets symbol on it. And she opened it up, and we see that it's a videotape. Well, no, it's not a videotape, but just a tape with something on it, but we never find out what it is. And then Jeff comes home, and AJ's allergic to the tape, too, so that's not good. And
it's literal tape. It's like a thing of duct tape. He's still in the parent role, kind of giving Callie shit. Saying like suspension doesn't mean vacation, go to bed. And he's like trying to hide this from Shauna and Jeff. Like he's hiding the envelope and she's hiding the tape. And I like this. I'm wondering if Callie's going to listen to this herself, or she doesn't want her parents to be dragged into this again. So I'm interested to see what's on this tape and who sent this tape. It seems like it's going to be a mystery. And I'm interested to see what this mystery is. I hope the mystery isn't disappointing. Like with the Travis, like who killed Travis then. I hope it's like, I'm not sure what this is type of thing because, we're not really sure. We'll have to wait to see the next episode. I imagine, because there's someone in the trailer that is a new actress that hasn't been seen before that's like older. I imagine it's going to be like that person. So that'll be interesting. But I got to say, Shauna and Callie's plotline was probably the best thing in the present. I thought it was pretty solid. Nothing in the present was really great. It was pretty solid stuff, except Thais and Van's plotline. That was just shit. And it was mainly just a follow-up from the last episode. But yeah, anything it's disappointment once we skipped so much time in the past, and then Natalie's funeral sucked and Thais' whole thing sucked. But for the most part, again, considering they skipped so much important stuff, like what we have is good,
Yeah. Why do you think, before we grade it, anything you want to say about Shauna and Callie's plot lines? You haven't really got to say anything about it.
I'm considering Shauna was like so boring in season 1. I really like what they're doing in seasons 2 and 3 with Shauna. Like Shauna's super hateable. Like she sucks, but like on purpose. Like I like that she's such a shitty person.
Yeah.
But again, my main thing is I really hope we get some fallout between her and Jeff over how she treats Callie. You know?
Yeah, I feel like this is the season to do it too.
Yeah, if they kind of keep holding off on that, I'm gonna be kind of disappointed. I think this is the season to really hammer in like Shauna's faults and like either have her like have that fallout and get worse, or like have her realize this and improve. You know?
Yeah.
I'm cool if Shauna doesn't improve, but I feel like if you're gonna go that route, like have her spiral down more. You know?
Yeah, definitely. And I wouldn't do anything with this anytime soon. I would do it like maybe episodes 4 or 5. I'd start to address it.
Yeah, really build up to it for a couple episodes. Like have a couple more scenes, like the one with Jeff and Shauna this episode, and then really have that blow out like episode. How many episodes are in this season? 10?
Episode 10, yeah.
Yeah, so like have it blow up between them, like episodes 8, 9, or maybe even the finale.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like the finale to do it, but I would have it like episodes like 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. And something I like that there's no, even though Lottie's cast and is going to be in the season, I like that she wasn't in episode 1. I feel like we had a lot going on in the present. I like the fact that Lottie wasn't around type of thing. I kind of hope we get something on Lottie pretty soon. But I like the fact.
Hope the whole cast isn't separated again for the majority of the season. We had them, most of them all together for Natalie's funeral. I'm hoping they aren't all split up again for the entire season. Like I hope they spend a majority of the season together.
Yeah, because I am going to praise it for the fact that Lottie was missing. Because usually a big flaw is, because they like to have all the main cast like do something in every episode. It hinders the cat. Like the example is Thaisa. Like sometimes they'll just want to in an episode, but she won't do anything. I like the fact that Lottie missed this one.
Obviously, because of the fallout of last season. But again, I'm hoping like they aren't just all doing their own thing, like for 80% of the season. Again, I hope they are together a lot. Because again, we're 2 seasons in, we should have the main cast like interacting for more than one episode.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of it for this episode. I'm gonna do my lightweight.
I give it a B.
Yeah, I agree. B, pretty solid. I think it continues kind of the trend where like the first episode isn't like anything stand out, and I feel like because this episodes 1 and 2 aired the same day, they probably, I assume episode 2 is probably going to be like the real better episode because that's the last thing they see. I know, fingers crossed. Kind of continues the trend that the season premiere is always kind of eh. I liked it better than season 2's season premiere, but not better than season 1's. So yeah, pretty solid.
Yeah.
It
was better. But yeah, again, the major faults with this episode are the stuff we skipped over from season 2. But like the episode itself, if you ignore those, are like it's fun.
Question I have for you, because I'm gonna say this, not a bad episode, but probably the most disappointing episode of the show. Because of all the stuff we skipped.
It's definitely one of the most disappointing in terms of like we didn't get a lot of the follow up to the setups. Is it the most disappointing? I don't think I'd say that. I think I don't know. There's probably 1 or 2 episodes beside that are more disappointing. Like I think the finale of last season is probably more disappointing because of Kevin's death with Shauna's plotline and Javi, all that shit.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching this video.
Good to be back to Yellowjackets. Looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, and hopefully we can keep it going. But if not, we have other plans.
Pop up. Come on, do it.
Nope, not going to happen. Not this time.
Damn.
The time to act. I think we're just going to...
We got the fireworks at the beginning. I'll take that.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.